All right, Smell Good family, before we get started with today's video, I just want to say, man, What's in the Bag, the What's in the Bag series is incredible. I look forward to smelling these samples, discovery sets, whether I get them on my own or they're sent to me, of one of the great Smell Good family members reaches out, say, hey, I want to send something your way. And it's been such a fun series, man, and each and every time we get to record some content with the What's in the Bag series, it's probably the most fun that I have, because going into it, I have no idea what's going on. I may have not heard of the fragrance, and that's what we got going on today. I have heard this fragrance. This is a fragrance that has been on my radar. This is something that has been on my list, and I'm very grateful of the kind gesture of one of the members of the Smell Good family and one of my real good friends sending this my way. So just want to kind of highlight the What's in the Bag series. It is very fun, probably the most fun I have doing this particular content. All right, so appreciate everybody who reaches out to send things my way for me to try. I really appreciate y'all, man. That's what makes it fun. That's what makes us a community, and that's what makes us the Smell Good family. All right, so let's get to it, man. Let's see what this one is all about. All right, let's go. YouTube, what's going on? YouTube, what is going on? What is happening, man? Of course, your guy, one more time, DEDRICKHICKSJR, and I'm back with another fragrance video. Smell Good family, hopefully everyone is doing well, doing great, doing fantastic. And as always, man, it's positive energy, it's positive vibes, and most importantly, it is positive vibes only. All right, so as you saw in the intro of the video, we are back with another episode of What's in the Bag. So what is What's in the Bag for those who don't know? Well, over the years, I have received or acquired several decants or samples of discovery sets where I'm able to try a fragrance that I have no earthly idea what it's all about. I may have heard of it, I may have not. Just a great opportunity to experience something different and give my raw initial thoughts on the fragrance, and then ultimately make the decision, is this worth acquiring to add to my collection, or was the experience just good enough? And it's been a great balance of that with this series. But today I want to salute my guy, my brother, the Bishop. Jared Miller reached out to me and asked me, did I have this particular fragrance? Have I tried it? I said no, I've heard a lot about it, but I am very anxious to see what it's all about. All right, so he said, I'm gonna send it your way, my guy, and looking forward to seeing what you think. So today we're gonna be smelling from the house of the Elemental, I believe. I don't want to mispronounce. I think it's the Elemental. Yes, the Elemental. This is number 11 from the house of the Elemental, and this is Cashmere and Sex. Yes, Cashmere and Sex is the name. Now, Jared knows that I love Cashmere. Me and Jared have shared the live screen a few times, and Cashmere is just one of my favorite notes in all of perfumery. And I've heard about this for a little while now. So with the name of Cashmere and Sex, I am anticipating one thing, but it could be a whole nother thing. We're going to find out. Now, I have heard great things about the Elemental, the house of the Elemental, but I've never experienced anything from the house. So I'm very grateful for Jared for sending this my way. And with the name like this, I'm very, very intrigued of what we got going on. So will I need to add this to my collection, or is the experience just good enough overall? Because these days I'm not into redundancy, and I'm not into, lukewarm additions to my fragrance collection. All right, so let's see what we get here, man. The Elemental, Cashmere and Sex. We're going to get this on my right hand here. 2 sprays. Let's get a spray in the air. Very fruity. Very fruity in the air. Very bright and fruity. A little musk in the air. Fruity and musky in the air. Very bright in the air. The fruitiness is like super duper standing out. In the air, it does smell good. It does smell good in the air. Doesn't necessarily remind me of anything. Because what I was thinking, and we'll smell my hand in just a second, but what I was thinking, that this is probably going to be and that's what I get for thinking, I guess. But this is going to be like a dark plum fragrance. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Let's see what we get. Okay, so it's a very fruity plum, like very almost candy-like plum. It seems to be like it's mixed in there with some other fruity elements, not just plum. I'm almost getting this now and later Skittles type of effect. Remember, you were kids, you would mix the colors of the now and laters and mix the colors of the Skittles and get a whole different experience eating the candy. That's what I'm getting here in the opening of this fragrance. Yeah, there's this brightness to it. It's fruity. Maybe a little bit of a muskiness going on here. Not what I was thinking that this was going to be. I thought this was probably just due to the name, and that's just me and my train of thought. Now, it smells good. Yes, it does smell good. But I was thinking we were going to get something, you know, like that very cozy cashmere, maybe with a dark plum, maybe a little booze, maybe a little spice, something a little bit intimate. That's where my mind was kind of leading me, just wrapped around the name and the presentation of the bottle, but that's not what I'm getting, me personally. Got a fragrance that smells really, really good, very unisex, fruity, bright, I don't say, yeah, fruity, bright, a little airy. It comes off a little bit of like a fun scent, not a juvenile, fun scent. And honestly, this is something I would really love to smell off of my wife. I don't believe that I would wear, like this would be like a go-to for me if it was like a date night situation or something like that. Now, doing a spring day for sure, just kind of floating around doing a spring, you know, just kind of enjoying the day. I do have a couple of fragrances like that are like fruity, floral, and musky that I wear for those types of vibes. But this is a profile that I can see my wife really wearing and enjoying, and me enjoying it, smelling it off of her. Now, I love plum, but now these, let's see what the notes are. Now I'm getting like this kind of like floral push in this fragrance. Don't get me wrong. It's really, 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 really good. Would I wear this? Absolutely, but I don't see myself wearing this like that. Like, the name Cashmere Sex kind of had me one way, but my experience is a whole nother experience again. So, and that happens sometimes, man. You'll hear the name of something or kind of get word of something, and your mind kind of starts to build its own, you know, it's just natural. We do it as human beings. But anyway, not to get too philosophical on you guys, but let's get into the note breakdown of the Elementals Cashmere and Sex, okay? So top notes, according to Parfumo.com, we get fig. Okay, so fig and wildberry. Fig and wildberry, in the heart honeysuckle, jasmine, white musk, and in the base amber and plum. So the note breakdown, minus that like fig part, I am getting that wildberry makes sense with that kind of transition with this kind of fruity plum. And that stood out to me. And the honeysuckle and the white florals just totally makes sense here. And as it starts to kind of maneuver down, it kind of has like this kind of soapy, clean effect here. Kind of comes off like a little bit of like a hibiscus. If you ever smell like a hibiscus soap, and I've used hibiscus soaps here and there, and it kind of gives off this kind of hibiscus vibe, just to me. And that berry effect is really making a lot of sense because it's kind of trumping the plum experience that I was getting in the initial opening of this fragrance. The initial opening of this fragrance was definitely getting like this fruity plum that stood out, that was familiar to me from experiencing other fragrances. But this doesn't smell like anything particular that I have or experienced in my collection. That initial opening just kind of reminded me, you know? So does it smell good? Yes, it really smells good. It is something that if someone is wearing this and you are in that person's space or in the arena, that more than likely this is going to be a fragrance that could get you a compliment, or dare I say a conversation. But for me in this profile, this is something that I would love to smell off of my wife. You know, me and my wife are stepping out. We're going out. And her wearing this type of profile, this kind of fits her aesthetic and what she likes. She's a fan of floral. She's a fan of a little fruity. This isn't girly. I don't want that to come off. I don't think it's girly. I don't think it's just for the ladies. I believe it's right down the middle unisex, but does lean a little bit feminine. Those florals are starting to kind of pronounce themselves a little bit more. The berry, the amber, the honeysuckle, all of that is starting to really make a lot of sense here. And like I said before, if you've ever smelled like a hibiscus soap, it kind of gives you that kind of soapy, clean hibiscus smell to it. Just with my experience with it, like that's just what I'm getting. So I was thinking, due to the name Cashmere and Sex, that this was going to go a whole nother direction, and that's what I get for thinking. But as human beings, that's just what we do. We kind of start to kind of analyze with the data that we have. And that's what I did here for Cashmere and Sex. So I don't think I'll be adding this to my collection. Now, if my wife loves this enough, I'll get it for her if she's rocking out with it. So I'm going to give her this sample and just see what she thinks. And if she wears it, see what she likes, and see if she likes it, and we'll go from there. But this is, in my opinion, this is her vibe. This is her speed. And, you know, my wife is a sexy woman. So when we're going out and we're doing our thing, she is looking and smelling incredible. This is something that I can imagine her wearing as we're stepping now and doing our thing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it smells really, really good, but it's just not for me. That's it. I don't think it's for me. Am I a little let down and a little disappointed? Yeah. I hear the name Cashmere and Sex, and with my relationship with the Cashmere, I was super dope. I mean, super excited, super hyped to see what we were going to get here. But maybe this turns out to be something that Mrs. Hicks really loves and adds to her collection, and I can benefit from it by her wearing it and see if it makes her feel good. So, Cashmere Sex by the Elemental. Very good fragrance. The hype on it and the conversations, I understand it. But no, I don't know. It's not going to be for me. Like I said, it leans a little more feminine with the florals and the fruitiness. There's nothing kind of coming out of it in a masculine way. I'm not saying that's what I'm looking for. I love florals. I love jasmine. I love rose. Rose is one of the top notes in all of perfumery, in my opinion. So I'm a huge fan of florals. But the combination of this and the fruity elements of the plum and the wild berry and the amber and that honeysuckle is totally making sense here from the note breakdown. And this is one that I get it now, but I thought it would be something else. So we'll see if Mrs. Hicks loves it. And I'll tap back in to you guys. Unisex for sure, leans a little feminine in my opinion. But I look forward to trying more from the Elemental, the house of the Elemental. I do. I've heard they have some really dope fragrances, some bangers over there. So I need to get me a discovery set. Give me a discovery set and kind of see what they got going on and see if they have something to offer me to add to my collection. All right. So Cashmere Sex, the Elemental, good, smells fantastic, but not for me. Let's see if Mrs. Hicks rocks out with that one. All right. So let me know, what do you guys think? Have you smelled Cashmere Sex from the Elemental? What are your thoughts? Do you love it? Do you like it? Do you kind of feel where I'm coming from? Am I tripping? Am I bugging? Am I right on the money? What are you thinking? What are your thoughts when it comes to Cashmere Sex? For a while, it was kind of getting around in the community. It really, really, really was. And I was very intrigued by the name alone. So I'm very happy to get a chance to try it. So shout out to my brother, my guy, the Bishop, Jared Miller, for coming through, showing love. And sending that sample my way. Appreciate you, Jared. Appreciate you, my guy. All right, so until next time, be cool, be safe, take care of yourselves. Positive energy, positive vibes, and as always, spike it up, spike it down, spike that thing all around. And remember, what you put out to this world is exactly what you are going to get back. That's for sure now. Don't take my word for it. Don't feel a way about me. Focus on you and what you got going on. You know what I mean? Focus on what's around you and try to make the best out of your life and the situations that's going on around you. And you'll be surprised if you do that, how things can really start to go your way. Just putting that out there. All right. So I think that's pretty much it. All right. So peace, y'all. Till next time. Spike.